If you don't have a strong relationship with yourself, it'll be very difficult for you to have a great relationship with success. Most people don't fail because of lack of money, lack of resources, or lack of connections. It's simply because they never take the time to master themselves. If you're new here, I'm Amancio, better known as the richest man in Baltimore. In this series, we are breaking down the true definition of rich, which is R.I.C.H. The R is for relationships, which we'll be talking about today. I for investments, which we talked about in video 3. Contribution was video 2. Hope you watched it. And then first and foremost was health. And you can go back and check those videos out. But today we're talking about relationships, and most importantly, the relationship with yourself. One of my favorite quotes is an African proverb that says, "If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm." Let me write that down. As a matter of fact, that's a bar. Write that down. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. That is powerful. So everything that if something outside of you can't stop you, right? External things can't stop you. They can slow you down, but they can't stop you. Only the enemy within can do you harm. So it's very big to just take accountability over your life. That's the first way for you to take and start building a true relationship with yourself, all right? So what do we have here? Number one, I have SR equals SD. And what that stands for is self-respect equals self-discipline. Self-discipline is a great sign of self-respect. When you do what you say you're gonna do, when you commit to working out and being healthy, when you're impeccable with your word. I don't have a lot of room on the board right now, but when you're impeccable with your word, these are signs of self-respect and self-discipline, and it actually has a direct reflection on how other people treat you. All right, when you say you're gonna do something and you do it, and people see that, they know, dang, that's somebody I can trust to get something done. If you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it, and you do it consistently, and you have a reputation of not doing it, well, one, you lose self-respect for yourself, and that's where a lot of people get, a lot of us, and I've been victim of this as well, is that we get to a place where we don't trust ourselves, and then we procrastinate. And I'm gonna give you another quote. Procrastination is a commitment, but it's a commitment to failure. All right, so every time we don't do what we say we're gonna do, we're not impeccable with our word, we lose self-respect, we lose self-discipline, and we lose what I want to talk about over here, which is self-trust. And self-trust has almost everything to do with SW, which is self-worth. And so the reason why we don't make the money we want to make, the reason why we don't have the experience we want to have, the reason why we don't have the love life we want to have is because we don't have a great sense of self-worth due to our lack of self-trust, lack of self-discipline, and lack of self-respect. So when we fix all of these things, see, we want, a lot of times we want others to fix it for us. We want others to change the way that they see us. But the truth is, how we present ourselves to the world is how the world reflects itself back on us. In video 4, I gave you guys an acronym, SAVERS. I'm gonna give it to you again. You guys are gonna hear me talk about this a lot. All right, if you're writing notes, drop them in the comment section. I'm replying to all comments. But I want you guys to take this very seriously. This is one of the best ways to build a relationship with yourself, is SAVERS. I've been doing it for over, how old is my son Blake? Blake was 8 years old. I've been doing it for over 8 years now. Just about every day, all right? S for silence, A for affirmations, V for visualization, E for exercise, R for reading, and S for scribing, which is writing. If you do those things every day, you will build a relationship with yourself, which is extremely important. You have more self-respect because you committed to doing something and you did it. This builds your discipline. All of these things require a certain level of self-discipline because no one's gonna tell you to do it. You're gonna commit to doing it, and then you're gonna have to do it, which is gonna build self-trust. That, hey, I said I was gonna meditate this morning, and I did it. It builds self-trust, and you need self-trust because trust is it's a deposit into yourself so you can go do bigger things, right? Eventually, you're gonna want self-trust to close a major business deal, or to buy a home, or to make an investment, whatever the case may be. But if you don't trust yourself, you'll never, ever, ever do it because you won't feel like you're worthy of it. You won't feel like you're worthy of the dream home or the dream girl or the dream car or the dream occupation or whatever it may be. So that's your action step to work on your self-respect, self-discipline, self-trust, and your self-worth. It's savers. Guys, please lock in on that. I want to hear that you guys are doing this. This is not something I created. I got it from someone. I have to find out who it is, and we'll give them the credit. But it's a great acronym. It gives you some things to work on for yourself every single day. And listen, most people work harder on their jobs than they do themselves. All right, but personal development is the key to increasing your income. You cannot out-earn your personal development, who you are as a person. It's very hard to do this. And what usually happens is sometimes your talent can take you to places that your character can't keep you. Right, so you might have some success for a short period of time, but it won't be long outlived. It won't live long. All right, so there we go. The next one is number 2. This is an exercise that I want you guys to do, and do it right now and think about this, ponder about this for some time. But LOA stands for the law of association. You think you're you, right? We all think we're us, right? You think you're you, right? But let me just take you down a little rabbit hole real quick. So from the time you were born, you were sitting, and it's funny because I'm thinking about this. My wife's pregnant right now, so she's actually going through this right now. But the baby that's inside of her our baby has no control over anything, right? She's feeding it, she's eating, it's eating the things she's eating, it's hearing the things that the environment that we're in, it's hearing the voice, the baby's hearing the voices, it's in the climate that we chose, it doesn't even get to choose its name. It doesn't get to choose where it's being born, and that is for all of us. So you're not you, we are the product of our environments. We're the product of the people who are in our lives. We are the product of their beliefs, the products of their desires, the product of their results that they got in their life. So the law of association is a law that says that you are the sum of the 5 friends you spend the most time with. If you take your closest 5 friends, you guys' bank accounts are within reason about the same dollar amount. All right, it's very awkward that it's very far that the 5 people you spend the most time with, that 4 people are very, very rich and well off, and one of them is unsuccessful. And it's not going to be on the other side. You're not going to find too many billionaires hanging out with 4 broke people, right? It's just not going to work out. A players want to hang out with A players, so and C players typically want to hang out with C players because they make themselves feel comfortable. Now, I'm not saying that I also believe that everybody should have someone that pours into them, that is further ahead of them. I have a mentor. I talk to him. I don't bother him as often, but I have plenty of mentors, but one in particular who I just call when I need advice and I want somebody to hold me accountable and who can relate to a lot of things that I've been through. All right, but you need to do a friend audit, guys. And I started doing this back in 2014, like really being diligent about it. I kind of slacked off a little bit in the middle of my 20s, but I've been taking it a lot more seriously lately. And you need to do a 5 friend audit, the 5 people you spend the most time with, and ask yourself these questions. Who challenges me? If none of my friends challenge me, I need a better friend circle. Right? I need friends that challenge me, all right? And not just with their words. I'm talking about challenge me in the sense that they're going out there and they're doing things that are challenging. They're doing things that require them to grow. They're doing things that push them and inspire us, which leads to the next one. Do your friends inspire you? Do the top 5 people that you spend the most time with, that you talk to the most, all right, that you DM the most, do these people inspire you? Because if not, you need a new friend circle. Right? You need friends that inspire you, right? To help you see yourself greater than you are, because that's what inspiration is. It's when someone helps you see yourself greater than you see yourself, right? Because right now, the way that you see yourself, the way that we see ourselves is the result of the things that we have in our life. It's the result of the reality that we live in, right? The way you see yourself. So you need friends that inspire you. Very, very important. And then lastly, accountable. Who holds you accountable? Right? If you don't have anybody who holds you accountable, your life is going to really, really suck. Right? It's gonna really, really suck. And I believe in self-accountability. I believe in holding yourself accountable first, because all the really, really major successful people hold themselves accountable. But having people around you that hold you accountable is one of the major keys to success, all right, and happiness. Because without accountability, you're not gonna hit your goals more times than not. You're gonna come short every time, because when people hold you accountable, you'll give up on yourself, but you'll rarely give up on others. Next, think about the people who drain you. We all have those people who just drain us. They call us with just bad news all the time. Every time they call, they need a favor. Every time they call, they need to borrow money. Every time they call, it's a sad story, right? And that is draining. Now, don't get me wrong. We want to be there for those people to an extent, but you cannot continue to just pour into people who aren't pouring back into you. If you remember, we talked about the law of reciprocity. all right? And if this is not a significant recurring thing, reciprocity in a relationship, it's not a healthy one. Sometimes you can't expect people to give you what you give them, but they should be giving something instead of just taking from you, draining you all the time, right? Eliminate those people from your life, all right? They're leeches, they will suck you and drain you completely. And then the negative people. The people that are just full of negativity, get them out of your life, all right? There's no room for it, right? Negativity only needs an inch to make its way and do damage, right? You don't need those people in your life. You want to be surrounded by people who are realistic and optimistic, but negativity, it serves us in no way, form, or fashion. So those people, every time you have an idea that they got something negative to say about it, right? Get away from those people. Don't share your dreams. Don't share your visions with those people, all right? Because they're gonna just be dream killers. That's what they are. So get those negative people away from you, all right? And that is, again, that's law of association. The action step for this is to do the 5-friend audit, all right? And I want you guys to take that very seriously. Start cutting some people off and start building some new relationships, new associations. And then number 3, IIY equals unlimited ROI. IIY stands for invest in yourself. The greatest investment, I talked about this on the last video, the greatest investment you can ever make is in you. And when you invest in yourself, there is nothing that can limit you. You have unlimited ROI, okay? And I'll give you a prime example. Warren Buffett. All right, he invested into mentorship with Ben Graham, became the most successful investor of all time. All right, and an investor doesn't always have to be a person that you talk to, that you get to physically be around. It can be somebody that you never meet. There's books, there's audio recordings, there's masterclasses, there's courses. Get involved and start investing into yourself, because that is the way that you're gonna grow. All right, and because of that, that leads to my segue. I'm actually opening up my personal development coaching offer. All right, the link is in the description. If you're somebody who is just stuck and you're not sure where to go next, all right, if you need someone to be your mentor, to not hold your hand but push you to bring the best out of you, then I'm the guy for the job. I would love to sit down with you and help you start building a plan to reach your goals, accomplish your dreams. That's all we got for today, guys. I will see y'all in the next video where I have a special guest, and in the meantime, y'all be great. See y'all. Peace.